So I just made it in here. You want to say something to the camera? You say what's up. Say that again?
Say welcome to Alkaline Xpress.
Alright, cool.
It'd be funny with the that shit.
Say what's up, y'all.
Peace, family, guys. Welcome to Motivational Monday.
Alright. So I just got here. We're settling in. You want to say something to the camera though?
Peace and love, we here, Motivational Mondays. We're about to get started. Y'all come out, 373 South Orange Ave, Alkaline Xpress. Let's make it happen. The topic is, are the ancestors, are you mad or are you upset with the ancestors? Are the ancestors upset with us?
So we have a topic today.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So
There. Alright. Ladies, hey. What are we doing here today?
Motivational Monday.
Alright.
Supreme peace and love. What's going on? Happy Indigenous Day. You know, IET up in the building. You know what I'm saying? African, Aboriginal, spirituality, culture, roots. You know what I'm saying? Without the Aisha Revolution, we wouldn't be here. You know what I'm saying? So salute to the African, Aboriginal, more black African family that stood up against oppression. You know what I'm saying? That was the black family, man, woman, and child that did that. BLM, Black Liberation Movements. Been around, they just trying to hijack our crown, but they ain't going down like that. We hit,
There you have it, guys. You heard it here from IET.
The latest will probably run too, but we really try to stop it at 8, from 6 to 8. And we just out here, we just expressing different ideas, talking about different subjects, topics, which all relates to ourselves, relates to the community, relates to the work we do, what's going on in our lives, our families' lives, just a connection to community.
Is this too bright for you?
Engagement. Yeah, a little bit. So that's what it's mainly about, though. You know, out here just connecting more. So every Monday night we do this. We've been doing this for about a year and a half, almost 2 years now. I would say probably 2 years. A year and a half to 2 years. We started out in the park, just a few of us, not even really on the camera like that. You know what I'm saying? Me, Leah, Khalil, a few others was out there as well, but we just continuing the vibration. So now, moving forward, we finally got our space, so you already know what it is. We're doing it here now, every Monday, so that's a beautiful thing to have our own space. Beautiful thing to have our own space now, to do this here, and say what we want to say. We can stay how long we want to stay, but we're mindful of time and, you know, people and their jobs and what they got to do with their families. So it's a beautiful thing to have our own area to host these type of events and just keep the energy moving. Today's topic is, are the ancestors, are you upset with the ancestors / are the ancestors upset with us? So, you know, we can definitely dive into it. We all can have our own perspectives. We want to keep in mind everybody's view, everybody's perspective should be respected. Even if you don't agree with something, you know, you could spread your message and talk about it in a different way. We all a family here. At the end of the day, one thing that I say that like really plagues us is like the petty differences, and we'll disagree with each other and not talk to each other off of something simple. But we go to work for the cracker every day, and we get up and, you know what I'm saying, whenever they say go, we do that. So we gotta learn to stick together more, even if we don't agree on everything, because that's how it is. We don't agree with our own parents 100%. So we can do that, and we understand that, then the people we around, then we can have some leeway for ourselves. That's the topic, though. Are the ancestors upset with us, or are you upset with the ancestors? You know, you can go into which way you want to go into it. And before we go around, let's do an introduction. Just talk about yourself, say one thing you want to say, or, you know, just express it. Just keep it brief, because we're about to get into the session pretty soon. So we'll go around and we can start. You know what I'm saying? If you don't feel like you want to say yourself, at least say your name and just pass. So thank y'all for being here. We can start at this way you eating, so we can start over here.
Thank you.
All right. Well, I start then. My name is Shuja Farmer. My main focus is education, economics, and health. Why? Because it supports the 3 basic essentials for humans: food, clothing, and shelter. Anything dealing with sustainability, agriculture, hiking, do-it-yourself techniques, farming, gardening, get into the protection mode, martial arts, all these types of things that could benefit ourselves you know, that's what I'm into. As far as the nature scene, on the nature scene, born in August, summer baby, Virgo, definitely on the non-vibration with the numbers. I'm into that too. But just give me a little background why I like these type of activities that I like. You know, like so. That's a little bit about me. I just go on and on, but you know, you can start. And you can go ahead, Teresa. You want to kick it off?
My name is Teresa, and I cook and bake here a little bit.
Rock.
Peace, Teresa.
Nice to meet you.
Teresa.
Baby, rock.
Hello, my name is Alexis, and what I do is I'm the founder of Dr. Rita. I just started my LLC not long about last year. I do juices, and it's more so of a gift shop. And that's what I do. And my sign is Leo, first day of Leo. Sign of affiliation, cuss. And that's a little fun facts about me.
Hi, I'm Rosie, her mother, and she invited me. And I'm a Virgo too. And I'm about going after what you want. So motivating, you know, grinding and succeeding in it. It's just going for it. Never stopping, you're never too old to keep moving.
Thank you.
Peace, everybody. My name is Karima. Passion is health and wellness, and just being in a community and a tribe of love and peace. That's why I'm here.
Evening. My name is Earl Godfrey.
Peace, Earl.
It's all good. It's basic, intuitive, passionate, loving Pisces. Just love to see people grow and happy.
I can go. Get myself in film. Hello everyone, my name is Kenneth Smith. A lot of people call me Kenny. I'm 25 years old. I'm a Cancer, and I'm now beginning to further myself into the community. So this is why I'm present here, and I would like to get further details about you guys. So I guess thanks for coming out, thanks for supporting, and yeah, hopefully today will be a great event. So yeah.
Thank you.
How y'all doing? My name's Ja. I'm an Aboriginal American, part of an indigenous tribe currently right now. I basically specialize in economics, law, and health. Basically, I help people learn their heritage as far as like their nationality and things like that. We're gonna get into that a little later, but nice to meet everybody.
Hey, y'all.
Oh, supreme peace and love, Hatep. Breathe in life, breathe in life. Greetings, everyone. My name is IET, Basu IET on the yoga tip. Artist formerly known as Haiti Blues, IET Blues. Sending a happy Indigenous Day to our people all throughout the globe, our African Aboriginal people. We the original people, we galactic, we global. I teach Smaitawi, Kemetic, ancient Egyptian yoga. I'm also an artist. I'm a jack of many trades. Giving thanks for the honor to be up in this space. Should have been trying to get me to come here for the longest. I'm here now, and it all came to divine order. I had 4 7s the last time I was here, so it's all good. Able. Yeah.
Peace, everybody. I'm Shayna.
Peace, Shayna.
Peace.
I am currently doing a book drive, a shoe job. If you guys have any books that you would like to donate of any age, any genre, we're primarily, trying to keep it in a good sense. But if you guys have any books to donate, please donate them here or to me personally. We're taking them, so Friday they'll be on display, and it's gonna be an ongoing thing so that the community is able to exchange. It's a book exchange, not a book drive. So the community is able to drop an old read, pick up a new read up. I also own the Self Love Chef with my boyfriend, partner, lover, everything. And we do vegan pescatarian food. We're implementing meal planning, and soon we'll be on Uber Eats and Grubhub. And I also am interested, I'm trying to keep it brief, but multifaceted. So I'm also pushing my women's empowerment movement, just community empowerment in general. So being here is helping that.
Hello everybody, my name is Kingsley. They call me King for short. I'm West African. Owere Imo State, Nigeria is where my roots trace back to. I'm a music artist first, that's my first passion. I'm also an options trader and Forex trader as well. Basically, I also part own the Self-Love Chef with my wife here. And just, briefly, just looking to educate more people on wealth, financial literacy, and also all at the same time, trying to free my people, wake them up and spiritually let them know of the metaphysical knowledge that's out there too, and everything. So, but more to come, more things to come. I'm gonna be brief though.
Peace, y'all. My name is Sheree. I do have an LLC. I need to start announcing it. Ray of Sunshine. Start putting that out there.
All right.
I'm a goddess of all trades. I'm trying to find my way in this crazy world right now. So I'm a free spirit. I'm just flowing and loving everything that has to do with love.
All right, that's it. I like that.
I'm here because I'm here particularly today on this Monday the 12th, the month out before my son was born, because I acknowledge as a woman in this community that our men need strong goddesses to have their backs. And I'm here to support our gods as a goddess. So that's why I'm here today, October 12th, to support my gods in whatever way I can.
Thank you, sister.
My name is Aaliyah, also known as Miss Aaliyah B, a goddess, or however you find me, just sis, you feel me? I'm good right there with it. But yeah, welcome to Motivational Monday. We have a lot of new faces in the room, and a lot of you guys came from Save the Streets. And we're trying to figure out to show you, like, we are all about making sure that the community knows this is what we really do. This is our lifestyle. And so if you felt like there was a lot of hype around it, or there may have been a bandwagon around it, us coming together for Motivational Monday is your way to know, like, this is our lifestyle. We do this every day of the week. It's not for propaganda. And so Motivational Monday is a space. In May 2019, Rel reached out to my roots and asked, like, if I wanted to host any events and stuff, and I explained, like, in February 2019, Khalil did a panel, the personal trainer and plant-based nutritionist, and he introduced like a New Year's resolution type of a situation and challenged all of the generations to come together and start breaking through what it meant to set a New Year's resolution. And I was able to reconnect with Shuja and make a connection to Docs. And throughout that time, we stayed connected. And once May came, I asked Shuja and Khalil if they would really be able to help me, like, come together with the community and provide this full package. Like, I'm not trying to be holistic and do everything in that sense. I know what I'm good at, and I know that you're great at something, and we need to push that. And so Khalil and Shuja, they shared their experiences, they shared light to the community, and then throughout the summer and as time went on, they started to get more gigs and like do and expand their brand and expand who they were. So sometimes you're gonna see Shuja, sometimes you won't, you know what I mean? Because he's traveling and trying to make statewide connections, get certain seeds that can only be grown in hot climates to other states. So that's why we close down randomly sometimes, and why we have these, you know, like weird type of gatherings, because we are trying to show that diverse and dynamic energy that is conducive to this lifestyle, not just the plants of it, not just the spirituality or the yoga or the mats and stuff like that, but just in your hood, you know what I'm saying? So I'm a healer, y'all. Like, I work in spirit, so this is where I'm at with it. But
First, what I what everyone will do for me is I'm gonna go around the room and I'm gonna ask each and every one of y'all, what is your nationality?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay? And I'm gonna write them down too. What's your nationality?
I'm Ghanaian and Liberian.
Okay. What's your nationality?
Black, I go by ADOS. That's what I go by.
Hold on, you said black and you.
I go by ADOS. African. Stands for African Descendant of Slaves. ADOS, yeah.
Ditto.
Ditto.
Same thing.
Brandon. Oh, me? I'm Brandon. I'm Brandon. That's what I am, bro. I mean my own nationality. I'm Brandon.
Your nation, Brandon?
Yeah, I'm Brandon Nation, man. That's my nationality. And
What's your nationality? Do you know your nationality?
I'm dead. Look, so this is what since we're gonna get into this topic, I know I have the right to create my own nationality and live under my own nationality. So I feel like
Who gave you that right?
me.
You gave yourself that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you why though. Just like I feel like nobody can tell me who can tell you better about me better than me. So I feel like before I just claim a nationality or say a nationality, I give myself my own nationality. So cause like that's the same thing as saying like either written or being written. So I created my own nationality. Cause I don't want to just claim a nationality no more just based on what somebody's telling me or information that's given to me. You know,
Do you comprehend what a political status is?
Political status, yeah, but
So what's a political status?
I think it's based on what somebody like what a pop. I think a political status is based on.
Take your time, brother.
Too much.
Take your time.
Political status is the status that would bring. Before I get into it, just explain it to me.
A political status is the status in which you operate in a country. So your political status is your nationality. So whatever your nationality is, like for example, I'm gonna give you a prime example before everybody finish. Black. What political status is black?
You don't have a political status. Black
it does have a political status.
I know what you're talking about, but it's like if you're going to talk about as far as your political status as far as like a country, like we know that some people say black is dead, black is this, black is whatever. But I'm talking about as far
what
as
is the political status of black?
Political, like you don't have any value as far as the political status.
Okay, you ever heard of the term 3/5 of a person?
Yeah, 3/5 of me, yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna get back to that though. But yeah, so the reason why I asked you what's your political status is because yes, you may be Brandon, but in order for you to function in society, you're going to have a political status. And if you have no political status, then others will give you a political status. You got me? Yeah. Okay. What's your nationality?
I'm Guyanese.
Guyanese?
Small English country in South America. Only English country in South America. Guyana.
Got you. Guyanese, got you. Okay.
Never had really much of a parents or background discussing my race, so I would say just an African American or
African
Native.
American? That's cool. Or what? What was the second thing you said?
Or Native.
Or native? A native what?
Native American.
Oh, I'm a spiritual being having a fleshly experience. Came through my family's from IET, the empire of IET. With the black with the capital B in the first Constitution of 1805, which denotes that IET, the people inhabiting the island of IET, hereby declare themselves free and sovereign citizens, independent of any other power in the universe under the empire of IET. So, IECN, and I came through the Canarsie territory, which would be Brooklyn.
I am, from my knowledge, I'm African American. From my knowledge.
I am, my people's original name is Biafra, but today it's known as Igbo Nigerian. I'm Nigerian. Yeah.
I actually did a 23andMe. And I'm 85.6% sub-Saharan African, and I'm 12.7% European. So my ancestors were slaves on this land. So I am African American.
You just pulled up a 23andMe.
I mean, you let me know. Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a breakdown.
It's an issue. Yeah, it's an issue with 23andMe as well as Ancestry.com, but we'll get into that later.
Yeah, please.
Got you. You my brother?
Me, my mother was born in Trinidad, my dad was born in Jamaica.
Okay.
So I got the pleasure, I guess I'll say, to have the joy of both. Trinidadian, Jamaican, but even before, and I'm gonna let you finish too, but you know the reasons why, I mean we're gonna get into it as you speak, but as far as the nations and the political status,
yes sir,
we're gonna have different, I already know, respectfully we're gonna have different views.
Different views?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's get it. Okay. All right, so I got a couple. See,
this right now, he's trying to tell y'all what's right. I got no camera right, trying to tell y'all. I don't believe it. I tell you how they do me around here now. For real. No. So I never cared. So I never knew. So ethnicity, nationality, what's another one that they say? What's another one?
Ethnicity.
Ethnicity, nationality, what's race, what's all of them? When they fill them out, never gave a shit. And I always put other, because it's universal. I'm universal. So I never cared. And then I went to college and people was like, oh, she white. I was like, well, where does she come from? Like, oh, she from Italy. I'm like, isn't that Italian? How do we turn whole white? So just listening to people, you know what I'm saying? I go to diners, I ask people, how do you identify? I'm just curious. It don't matter to me. I don't care. I'm really just curious about what you think. So for me, yeah, I represent the people that never gave a shit.
So what if you had to choose the nationality?
When I go to training and I have to do my fingerprints inside the system, I'm other. Universal.
Other? Okay, other. Good. That's good. Alright. Now I asked all y'all what was your nationality, because your nationality has everything to do with how you operate in this system, which they call the United States Corporation. Okay? So, some of y'all said black. Some people said black. Some people said African American, right? And why those are familiar terms, those are actually new terms in history.
Jesse Jackson just came up with African American.
Exactly. Jesse Jackson, yeah, in 1988, I believe. 1988, Jesse Jackson came up with the term African American to identify the once called Negroes in America. So I know y'all heard of the term Negro. So basically they called us Negroes, they called us blacks, they called us coloreds, they called us African American. Why do they keep changing our identities? We must really pay attention to that, right? When you're filling out all of this information, they're asking you, what is your race? What is your nationality? What do you identify? The reason why they're asking you that is because that's based on how you identify yourself is how they're going to treat you. You feel what I'm saying? So, for example, if you're claiming that you're black and you're claiming that you're African American, I used to claim I was black and African American too when I was younger, when I didn't really know any better. And that political status means that you are 3/5 of a human being, right? So, if the cops kill you, there's no law that says that they can't kill you, because according to law, you are 3/5 of a human being, which means that you are property of the state. This is why we have a birth certificate. Why do our parents sign our birth certificates? It's a reason for that. Why do you have to sign your social security card? It's a reason for that. Why when you apply for a license, you have to sign, you have to give your signature. If you have to give your signature, in anything that you're doing, then you are engaging in contract. You get what I'm saying? So I said that to basically say that the ones that's claiming black, and then y'all also said ADOS. ADOS, and you said that's African descendants of slavery? Gotcha. Okay. So, how many people in here are African descendants of slavery to their knowledge? Everyone, right? That's what we always taught. And today is Indigenous Day. It used to be Columbus Day, and then they switched it to Indigenous Day to honor the indigenous people of this particular landmass. Okay? Who do y'all think are the indigenous people of this particular landmass? Talk to me. So you think black people are the indigenous people of this particular landmass? Okay. Anybody else?
I feel as though, like anybody in the African diaspora is just Aboriginal people of this world, like of this earth. Because that are like where the earth is, you know what I'm saying, first come about, like we're the original people and then.
Okay. Anybody else?
The Olmecs, the Tamaki.
Good answer. I said, what was the question again?
He said what the original.
Oh yeah,
indigenous people are just bad.
You saying like you want like tribe names or like ethnic group names?
I want you to describe the people. How would the people look?
They look just like us.
All different shades.
Okay. So who are the Native Americans?
They look just like us too. See everywhere.
Okay, so who are the Mexican-looking, Spanish-looking people?
They're mixtures. So like they're mixtures from Spaniards, Europeans, and then Africans. They're mixtures. That's why they call them a spit, because we look at like a dog or certain pigs and there's mixtures.
Okay. So do the native people of this country look like them or look like us? Because there's a difference.
There's a difference. The natives would be considered them, the Mexican looking ones. But the original people of this land would be considered us, the Olmecs and stuff like that.
Okay.
But it is a difference.
Okay. Gotcha. So, and brother, you were saying something about Olmecs, what you were saying?
Yeah, it said the Olmecs, Tamaki, as Manita being the source of civilization until proven otherwise. You know what I'm saying? Because all the spiritual systems, everything you can see is connected in it. With the Haitian Revolution, you know what I'm saying? That's a historical, factual example that linkages to all of that. IET is the ancient name of the island. We had ancient Camites in IET. We had Malians, we had Moors, we had Phoenicians, you know what I'm saying? We had Olmecs, of course, that were all around, who were the original people of just the Americas, period.
Okay.
And from that, we get our Aboriginal indigenous breakdown of what we call Native Americans.
Gotcha. So the reason why I asked y'all about your nationality is because your nationality is basically how you operate in this world. And you could either operate in your right political status, which means that people won't be able to oppress you because you're not engaging in fraudulent contracts that you have no knowledge of. So for example, when you say that you're African American, when you say that you're black, or if you got a birth certificate, if you got a social security card, then basically you are actually property of the United States corporation. Did anyone know that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So.
And your marriage certificate. Your wife belongs to the state.
Yep.
And your baby too.
Gotcha.
That's why you signed.
So before we can make a difference in the community, we all got different ways of solutions. The first solution that we have to correct is our political status as indigenous people. Wherever you're from, wherever your family is from, there was indigenous people there, which means the first inhabitants of that particular land. And that's anyway, we have indigenous people in China, we have indigenous people in Russia, we have indigenous people in America, South America, Central America, Africa, Australia. have Aboriginal and indigenous people around the whole entire globe. See what I'm saying? So, in order for us to change our political status, we will have to understand what is our heritage, right? So, in order for, like the sister said, you said 23andMe, right? You did a 23andMe heritage?
You kind of schooling me right now.
Okay.
Yes?
So, the only proper way for you to know what's your heritage and where your family come from is for you to trace them back by lineage, by documentation. You cannot take a test, you cannot send saliva, you cannot send blood, you cannot do that and they bring you your entire lineage from back in the days or whatever the case may be. Like for example, did they give you any specific ancestors for the test or they just gave you the percentage breakdown?
It's like different things that you could do within the program, like within the app.
Okay.
Depending on, based on the information that you provide to them.
Okay.
But like you saying documents, like, let's be real here, some mothers don't even got their kids birth certificate or social security card. So how we supposed to be able to track documents if people not even being responsible enough to keep up their current kids' documents? Like, how are we realistically supposed to be able to find out who we are? Because I needed to know. For myself.
Yeah.
I was curious because I'm trying to speak to my ancestors, my grandparents who raised me, and then my grandfather, he smoked marijuana. You don't remember that shit?
Okay.
And my mom suffered, she's dealing with addiction, so I could even find out what the hell my moon and my rising sun is because every time I ask her what time I'm born, she changes it.
Okay.
And my dad he's no longer here with me, so like,
Okay.
I'm my own woman out here.
Okay. So, the first step that I believe you have to take in order to your journey is to get the documentations of your parents, right? Do they have a birth certificate? Just start there. They don't have a birth certificate?
My dad transitioned when I was 6. I have his social security card. I have his ID. That's all the I have my dad's ashes, his social security card, and his ID. My mom suffered from addiction, so I don't even think she knows what that's like a dead.
Okay, and what about your grandparents? What did you say about your grandparents?
My grandfather? What about him?
Do we have any documentation that you?
I'm sure he has a birth certificate. I'm sure he has a birth certificate.
Okay. So what you should do is you should get that documentation from him. If you got a grandmother, you get her documentation.
I don't.
Okay. So get your grandfather documentation. That's the first step that you take. And then after that, try to have a conversation with him and ask him what's his parents' name and see how far he can get back. Like if
I'll try this. That's why 23andMe was my only result because I was curious. I wanted to know like who the fuck is Sheree? Where the fuck am I from? Why do I have certain features? Why do I feel like I attract certain men? Why do I feel a certain way around certain people? I was conscious of all this stuff, and my only result was that my
Try Ancestry.com because when I did that, like I know about like just like I used that for the documents, and that's how I found out more about my grandfather. My grandfather was from Roanoke Island, on the coast of Honduras. I seen a picture of him, and it had his death certificate, and I found out he was born. He died the same year I was born in Florida, blah blah whatever. But it was accurate. It was his information, so that helped me, along the way, just typing in that document. And I see my grandmother's death papers up there too, so it helped me along the way. You still gotta, it's just, that's how we got effed up through this thing. Like
that's what I'm saying.
No, this whole misconception, slave trade information, all that. Like that's why even to ask, like I you done, like I want to ask.
No, let's talk.
Even to ask you, like even on a real level, because I know I have a lot of these conversations too. I went to a lot of lectures. I'm pretty sure you know about Hawaii, the Moors, the Nuwapians, the Hebrews, a lot of different talks. You know what I'm saying? See a lot of different debates, and just had to kind of realize and analyze some things for myself. Like even when you say like the solution, like that's the main solution for us to change our political status or change our political status, right? Like how effective do you really think that is as far as us out here in this world?
I'm gonna show you right now.
Because even with the documents, and you can show me, even with the documents or paperwork or whatever, we could call ourselves Moors, blacks, national people, indigenous, all these things. It don't stop the cops from gunning us down day by day.
I got you.
Call ourselves.
I got
So
you.
that's one thing. And I'm thinking like, what we gonna do? Cop pull up on us and you see how the videos is coming. So if a cop pull up on us and he pull out a paper and we say, oh, we got this, or we this, or we change it, the 3/5, the Dred Scott decision, yeah, it still stands to this day because they never changed it, reversed it. That's how I look at it. So I look at it like
Speak about the Dred Scott.
Dred Scott
Help people
decision.
understand the Dred Scott
The Dred Scott
That's
decision
very
is-
important to what we're talking
is,
about.
you could probably help me out with some of the info because basically, like, the man was going to court to sue back in the day during slavery time, I think like the slavery times, and he was going to sue because he wanted to claim himself as a person,
As a free man.
as a free man, and the crackers were saying like, no, like you're still 3/5, something with the blood,
Yeah.
the black blood, or something like that.
Yeah,
too.
this was in what's the main court? The Supreme Court.
Supreme Court.
Yeah, he was in the Supreme Court and he lost his battle because he was trying to sue as a free black man. You see what I'm saying? So we go to the Dred Scott case to let y'all know that if you claim that you're black, just like he did, then they consider you 3/5 of a human being, which means this is why the cops is able to gun us down with no repercussions.
So you don't think that they not gonna, so you think it's because of that specific reason? Do you think that because they don't like us, they want us out of here, they want us to exterminate us, they don't see us as people, like, do you think it's specifically that reason or you think it's other?
It's trees
I feel like they're gunning us down because we're ignorant to our political status.
And then, okay, that's the gun part. What about our sisters or the pregnant in the hospitals? What about the babies who's missing? You know, like all these things. And like even besides cop, the majority of it, let's be real, is white people. The majority of them doing this to us is white people. So do you think it's because of that decision?
I mean, first and foremost, this is why we need autonomy. Autonomy is self-government. So for example, we shouldn't be trusting our women to go to these people hospitals to be given birth, to be in no position to even be taken advantage of. You feel what I'm saying? So we stress autonomy. I want everyone to look up. I want everyone to look this up when they get the chance. It's called the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People.
United Nations.
The United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People. Make sure y'all all look that up. Now you heard the key word that I said.
United Nations Declaration of Rights of.
The United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples.
United Nations Declaration on the Rights
of Indigenous People. Y'all got it?
No.
No, not yet?
Read the chart.
Okay. I want y'all to make sure y'all find that PDF and download that PDF and read it. Because what we're dealing with in this country is the matter of civil rights and human rights.
I think honestly, bro, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm a woman, and I feel like that's the deeper level. But on the surface level, they just envious us. Like I don't know what it is. We just got this glow about us that they want, and they try to.
You know what it is? I'm gonna tell you what it is. They know who you are, and you don't know.
No, I know who I am,
You know what I'm
but
saying?
I just think the majority of us don't know who we are. Because I acknowledge who I am. But
Okay, so
like,
you just told me that you're trying to look and figure out who you are, right? I'm talking about as far as from a nationality standpoint. That's what I'm speaking from. I'm speaking from a nationality standpoint. They know who you are from a nationality standpoint, and you don't. So, for example, if you're in this, talk to me.
I hate a day.
I'm big on the day.
Who is they? I hate a day ass person. Who is they? Who is they that know who I am and I don't know who I am? Like, who is that?
All the same people that you just said is envious of you. Those are the dead.
I don't know who I am.
I just wanted to ask, does spirituality come first before nationality, since we're spiritual beings having a flesh nature?
Yeah, like that's the thing. It's like so
nationality comes first. The reason why I say nationality comes first is because you need to understand who you are and who your ancestors is and what they practice, and you need to tap into that. Because those are the systems that help us connect to the stars and connect to the universe and things like that. And once you tap into that type of knowledge, now you can control everything that you need to control and put it in your favor. There's no more, I don't want to disrespect nobody with their whole religious beliefs and things like that. But all I'm just saying is we all know that we have been colonized to believe certain things from a religious standpoint. So when you can get back and tap into your ancestors and see what did they practice before slavery, before they did genocide on us, what did they practice, and get back into those systems, that can help us elevate ourselves from a spiritual level, and the nationality comes first, because at the end of the day, I know some people in here who have a job and they have to pay taxes, or own property and have to pay taxes. Indigenous people are not supposed to pay taxes, which means that somebody is adversely affecting us from a political status, and we have to correct that. So they can't do those type of things to us no more. So then the whole spiritual thing, you think? Talking about.
So in the Masonic playbook, they said that they religion, which they pretty much did away with our spiritual understanding of self, because as Dr. Marimba says, culture is our immune system. So being that we're spiritual beings having a fleshly experience, spirit means the breath in essence. So we're not of this only. We're everywhere. You know what I'm saying? However, in terms of dealing with the physical aspect, wouldn't the nationality and come afterwards?
I don't like to speak on that.
You know what I'm saying? Because in IET, you know what I'm saying, we call on the supreme being, earth, wind, water, air, fire, and we got our stuff taken care of. You know
I understand, and I'm a part. I respect that.
I just want to add on, and we defeated as African, Aboriginal, Black, Moor. It was an African, Aboriginal, Moor, Black African revolution of man, woman, and child. So we had an example of man, woman, and child as the military apparatus, spiritually in tune with ourselves, that defeated the most powerful military armies in the world at that time, France, Britain, and Spain, they normally focus on it being an enslavement campaign, when in actuality we defeated child and human sex traffickers.
Okay.
And defeated satanic. Hold on a second. And we defeated satanic energies that were pushing their homosexual pedophilic agenda on the entire mass. So right now we see where there's an anti-nature energy that is working to reverse and destroy every aspect of our being, which is tied to nature.
Okay. And I share, just like how your ancestors, they called the revolution. You ever heard of the Bella? You heard of the Bella Wars, Bella Vici, and how my ancestors defeated the United States Army as well. So I'm speaking on that to tell you that.
And
I understand the spiritual. I understand the spiritual.
What year?
Year, I have to look up the year on that.
Because, you know, IET was one of the first islands, since we're speaking on Christopher Columbus, you know, it's Christopher Columbus. IET was one of the first islands of contact. And when we speak of IET, I'm coming from, we may have heard the term Haiti.
Right.
You know, we know Haiti, the Republic, but they never teach you about the empire of IET.
Right.
So you had Africans that were brought to the Americas, you know what I'm saying, but you had your Aborigines, you had 21 different nations of Africans that came to IET, from North, South, Central, East, and Western Africa. So pretty much the whole continent of Africa was in IET. Plus you had your Aboriginal, Indigenous, Taino, Arawak, Omek bloodlines that were already there.
I'm gonna get the date for you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm gonna follow the date right here. I'm gonna get the date for you.
You know, so you know, with everything that was going on, we tapped into source and we got our stuff handled. You know what I'm saying? Like, it got handled. We got recolonized later on because of we had the mulattoes brought back they called back their fathers, and so there was an undermining of the empire of IET, which birthed Haiti, or Republic, which is the fake version or the watered down version of who we really are.
Okay. What's your thoughts, brother?
The Gullah Wars, aka Seminole Wars of 1738 and 1858, we fought for our freedom. It started 1738 and in the 1858.
So it was wrong. Y'all did y'all thing, we did our thing. I believe y'all was about what, 9 years?
Well, 1492 was the first year Columbus came, so we've been battling them since 1492.
Yeah, and another thing,
we have
a
a worldview and an understanding, you know what I'm saying, as Haitian, that everybody in the whole world cannot grasp or understand, because we did the impossible, you know what I'm saying? And we, like the coronavirus or the COVID-19 or whatever, we shifted and changed everything in the whole world because of what happened. And to this day, they ain't even trying to speak about that. To this day, matter of fact, Emperor Jean-Jacques Dessalines, the man who, after Toussaint fell. Now, everybody played their part in the revolution, and the Haitian Revolution was started by women. You know what I'm saying? So we understand. And it was a woman, the Dahomian women, the Amazonian women, they were in IET. And it was a military woman that took Emperor Jean-Jacques Dessalines, General Dessalines, and taught him the art of war and all these things, and reared him. Okay. And so when Toussaint got captured by the French, he, as one of the, as being born on the island of IET and being beaten like crazy, he said like, yo, we gonna end it. Within 18 months, it was ended. And he was also a Hugon, which is a Vodou priest of Haitian Vodou, not just Vodou, but Haitian Vodou, which is a fusion of the west side and the east side together.
1 second. What you had to say something?
Yeah, so peace everybody, my name is Harmony.
Peace, Harmony.
Thank you for sharing this space with me and this energy. I just wanted to speak to some of the things I heard. I wasn't a part of the entire conversation, but I was told that you've already gone over asking the room their nationality, and I'm hearing conversations about how we go about finding out who some of our most recent ancestors are, like our parents, grandparents, things like that. I heard something else about 23andMe, Ancestry.com. So I'm just kind of bouncing around some of the topics that I heard, but there were two things I wanted to speak to. One, as it relates to looking for your family, and doing a search on your own, so that there's not too many hands in the pot, if you will. I've done that myself, so I just wanted to share my own personal experience with doing that. Part of my family did do Ancestry.com. There's like a family tree online that, because they started it years ago, I can just go on there and see like, oh, okay, on my dad's side of the family, here go names of people. But I didn't always know about that, and so initially what I started with, without having my dad's birth certificate available to me, I actually went to the state where my dad was born. I was born in California, my dad was born in Cleveland, Ohio. So I actually just went to Cleveland, and you can just go to, there's a records department that you can go to. It's usually housed in the same building where they do death certificates, marriage certificates, and birth certificates. All of those things are open to the public. You have to pay for a copy, but all you have to do is go in there and show that you would like the record of death or marriage or birth of whichever person that you're looking for. They did have me fill out something to say how I was related to this person, which I thought was kind of interesting because I could have totally been lying, but the information was true. I waited in line, and within 10 minutes, they gave me copies of my my mom and dad's marriage certificate, which has a lot of information on it. You don't realize it, but it does. Tells you, where they were married, who was there, with everybody's name. So there's a record there. I asked my dad's birth certificate. It has his mother and father's names on there, where they're from.
Yep.
Right, so I use that. Same with my mother. Her birth certificate has her mother and father's name on there and where they're from. They happen to just ask you for that information whenever birth certificates are being given. So those were easy. Marriage certificates and then birth certificates. And then I got to look for death certificates because my grandparents are dead. You know, I never got to meet my dad's dad or my mom's dad. Like, they were already passed. So all I did was ask for their death certificates. Their death certificates also include their family information. So I was able to find out where they were buried, you know, in what cemetery, if they were given a traditional burial, so that I could find that site, and then other family members attached to that person. Well, now we just have Google, we have Facebook, you can put those names in, look people up. And through that, I was able to find a Facebook group that one of my dad's brothers started like 8 years ago. And it has like everybody that he could find on Facebook on there, asking them to just add people who they know, you know, who are there. I just found this group like 2 years ago. So when I moved from California to New Jersey, I have no family in New Jersey, no family whatsoever, to know of on the East Coast except for Cleveland and Detroit. So when I found out about that group, I got to see like, okay, well, who's close to me? I had already been living in New Jersey for 2 years. I'm like, all right, I'm the newest person in here. I'm gonna just throw my address down and just see if anybody's around. And I had like, 15, 16 people be like, oh, we're in New York, we're in Philadelphia, we're over here. So, I mean, it can lead you to finding people in real time, you know what I mean? To where I was able to find people and go spend time with them over Thanksgiving break, you know what I mean? To spend time with them over holiday breaks. People are available, people are off work, stuff like that. But I've never used, any of those other programs, that require you to give DNA, because I was always like skeptical of that. Until somebody broke it down for me and basically let me know, like, have you ever been in a hospital? Have you ever given samples of your blood? Then they already have that information. So if they were going to use it, they already used it. So you not doing the 23andMe, you're not saving yourself from anything that hasn't already happened to you.
That was my idea.
And there's no imminent danger where somebody's going to come track you down at your house because they found out some information, because we're already being tracked every single day. That particular argument, I hear is used a lot because of fear. We're all afraid. Nobody wants somebody showing up at your house, dragging you out your house, doing experiments on you. We're told that there are things that can actually happen to us, impact us in a negative way, but what we're not told is everything that you may be thinking you are trying to avoid by not doing that has already been in place. So you're not keeping yourself from experiencing any of those things in real time faster. It's not going to happen now sooner. You're not going to get a call from a doctor trying to hook you up to some machine. Like, the reality is, do you know who you are? Do you know how to stand in that power? Do you believe that your ancestors have your back? If they want you to find them, then you will. Whether you use 23andMe or Ancestry.com or do it yourself, like, when you set the intention that I'm gonna find these people, I'm gonna connect, I'm gonna reach back, they will assist you in making avenues open to you so that you do just that. What becomes, I guess, controversial is like, what do you do with that information? Sometimes people feel like the information that they get is not enough. If they're just telling you about a region in Africa that you might be from, there's not much you can do with that. And the reality is, none of us can use that information, show up in Africa and be like, oh, cousin, auntie, like, that's not what it's offering us. That's what we want. So we fantasize about, that's what we're going to get out of it. But that's not really what they're offering us. They're offering us exactly what they tell you. From this region, possibly, you might be mixed with this or that, possibly. So it's better to really just focus on who are the family members that you can reach out and contact. Because the reality is, your connection is right here. The most recent ancestors to you are right here. They were born in America. Like, you don't have to look far for those people. So once you find those people, anything further back than that, those are our foremothers and forefathers. We can give homage to them, just like these people right here on the wall, right? We're not going to be able to track exactly where in ancient Kemet these people are to go roll up on them and shake their hands, but we know they're there. So just being able to acknowledge that energy resides within you. You're already connected to your ancestors every single day. In this room, there's millions of ancestors just listening to this conversation, just happy that we're talking about it. So that's what I want to say. Just, if you want help, I'm happy to help you. Don't be discouraged. It is frustrating because you're like, who are the people that are attached to me? There's a part of your identity that exists because people are from people, not from places. You are who you are because of the people, not because of the place. So that's an important element to remember.
But you gotta realize too, like I am a subject of being a project baby.
Right.
I was in the project.
Right.
They were trying to do shit on me already. I refuse to be ignorant to look like I am.
Absolutely.
I'm a single black female in America.
Right, right.
I'm powerful.
And the interesting thing about that too is that the day and age that we live in, the time that we live in, this is totally foreign to our ancestors. They didn't live like this. The stuff we're breathing right now, if we were to go back millions of years and bring those ancestors, they would die as soon as they breathed in this air. Like, it's so toxic. We're the strongest. We're the ones that survive. We're the ones that over time, we have all of that energy inside of us because we are the best versions of all of them. So we have to live in that power and step to that power every single day. So I just wanted to say that to you. I wanted to speak on the other topic too, because I wanted to speak on that, and then also about being able to claim or proclaim your nationality. I heard you asking about, like, how does that really help you at the end of the day, right? Because I hear these conversations all the time too. I'm a part of I'm a faithful visitor at a Moore Science Temple in Brooklyn, Temple 34. I have been, doing my own studies. Of course, you got YouTube videos, YouTube celebrities. You have people who have a lot of information, right? But at the end of the day, I ask the very same question. How does that change me walking out my door, living my life, and still being victim to all of the ills of the world, right? There's no magical shield, right, that comes around you just because you say, I'm this or I'm that. So how does it really benefit you? And I wanted to answer that question for you, for me, from a personal standpoint, because I went on that journey. I took that road, and what it came down to for me was, it's for you. It is for yourself. There is no car that's going to be bulletproof to shield you. You're already on the right path. You already have the answer. It's exactly what you were thinking. Your nationality is for you. It's no paperwork that's going to stop them from knocking down your door and brutalizing you. If that's what they've made up their minds to do, that requires for you to be prepared and to protect yourself, arm yourself, know how to protect your family. That's the only thing that's going to matter when it comes to physical combat. Right? But as it relates to things on a legal level, if you don't know law, it don't matter if you know your nationality or not. You can look up a million videos of people saying, I'm a Moorish American, I should be allowed to take, refuge in this house, and where are those people? They're in jail. For what reason? They don't know the law, so you can't just walk around with it. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. Finish his talk about what he came here to talk to us about, share some more information, and then we're going to jump into the next conversation. Okay. These subjects get heated, but let's
look. So
I just
right
want
now,
to say peace. Thank you for the floor.
Peace. Right now, we have a lot of oppressive systems coming against us in society, and we must protect ourselves from this. Who's in? Let me ask you a question. Is there anybody in here that's tax exempt?
Not yet.
Making
my way there.
Not yet.
Okay.
For the Alkaline Xpress, I don't pay.
Okay. So I say that to say this, right? I see a lot of people saying that what do your nationality do for you? What is it going to do? You knowing that this, that, and the third. Look, I'm not, me personally, I'm not into being a type of person who know this and know that, but no application behind it. We do application behind everything that we talk about, and we put it in stone, and we make it to where we can manifest it, and it can help us from a governmental level. See what I'm saying? So right now, what I'm gonna do is I'm about to pass around my IRS.gov file, and I'm gonna show you what claiming your nationality can do for you and the benefits that you can get from your nationality. And this is just to show people who think, because y'all probably never heard of nobody being tax exempt. You feel what I'm saying? Everybody think we all gotta pay taxes. I'm gonna show y'all my IRS file, and when I show y'all my IRS file, I just want y'all to understand that once you claim your nationality and you know who your ancestors was before you, a lot of things that they say, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, you need a license to drive, you need this, that, and the third. All of those things are not in law at all. Once you understand law and you understand that everything that they're telling you that you have to do, and this is a must, you gotta pay taxes, the IRS on this, that, and the third, that's under the color of law, which is not the law at all. It's a difference between lawful and legal. But I'm gonna just pass it around just to show y'all the documentation, just to show y'all that claiming your nationality, there's benefits in it, okay?
Oh, okay.
Are we allowed to see that on camera? On film?
Josh, is it okay to see it on camera? So now, here's what, so let me explain it, definitely go more in depth with the intention for today's convo, because for the previous Motivational Mondays, you know, Shuja and I, we had the floor, we opened up the floor to all of the brands, all of the tribe members, all of the founders to explain what their purpose is, what they're figuring out, what they're going through. And throughout the beginning of Motivational Monday starting in 2020, you have a new tribe of individuals that starts to come inside. And so we have to figure out how to integrate. Last year when we had Motivational Monday and we hosted it on, and I think Columbus Day was gonna be either that Monday, or it was that Monday. The topic was essentially fuck Christopher Columbus. And so the different perspectives of it, because I come from a spiritual perspective, Shuja's coming from agriculture, he's taking care of the community. Khalil was coming from the personal trainer and the plant-based nutritionist side of things. And so when you start to step away from maybe what my personal practice is and go more into what my personal standpoint is and how I identify, you found out that Shuja was a Pan-African. You found out that I believed in Buddhism. You found out that somebody believed in Comedicism. So when we started to demystify each other, because we may wear the same hair wrap and tie it the same way. You get what I'm saying? But we're not protecting the same crown or the same types of thoughts. You get what I mean? And so we created this space in order to start to demystify some of those topics that's hard to talk about. And when you become a teacher and you stand up in front of people to talk about, not profess, because the etymology of profess means to lie. So when you stand up and you put your life condition out to people, and when you're a teacher, you're just sharing your personal experiences. Some people may have felt alone about their personal experiences. Some people may have felt like they needed to be on the fence and defend themselves all the time. And so now this may be their first time opening up the floor to their perspective. And when we're talking about identity during a time like now, we may subconsciously have more guards up to each other than we realize. And so this is a space where we use those realize to realize. You get what I'm saying? What's taking place right now. So from the spiritual perspective, honestly, this is how the Alkaline Xpress is going to flow. We'll be in the kitchen, you can set everything up. Such and such, be here at this time, and we'll do all of this and everything, and we'll get it in order, right? And then life takes place. And now a host, we're not a host anymore. You're a healer, you're a person, you're the vessel that has to see about your family member. And you put the agenda to the side, you put the program to the side. So you spend a few more minutes in the kitchen. You get what I'm saying? Than being a part of the conversation, because you know where your heart is at and you know that spirit is in the room. You get what I'm saying? So it's all good. Whatever happens, we created a middle wave frequency because we're crossing the sea of suffering together. And so we have different mindsets about what that means to be on one ship. Some people don't want you to put your hands in your pocket when you're on a ship. Watch where you step. This is my square. This is my pivot. I got to stick and move. So we're all on the same ship and we have different mindsets day by day. I'm just trying to get it. You get what I'm saying? Same shit, different day. So we have those folks in here. We use those idioms and proverbs in order to explain how we feel about the day and create a trajectory of technically about our life. And so now we're going to start demystifying those proverbs, quotes, idioms, all the things that we are theoretically holding ourselves accountable for and really apply them to our lifestyle. So with Jock coming, since the beginning of Motivational Monday, when it started again in August 2020, one of his main platforms and premises that he stood on was being able to self-identify and being able to know that you have autonomy. I'm someone who believes in self-advocacy and autonomy resonates with me. You get what I'm saying? So when King, Shayna, Ja, Brandon, when we start having these conversations and this is what he's constantly driving home, that's not for a hashtag. That's not for me to follow him. That's not for him to sit up here at Motivational Monday.
Those his papers. You get what I'm saying? So he's acting like he's trying to put his life condition out there. You see Motivational Mondays on Brandon goes off. You get what I'm saying? Because he's frustrated about the status of us as a people and making action. And so he's not talking about us, we don't do shit, but it's an inner feeling because he's an empath and he's perceiving so much and taking in so much. And now you're in a position to make things change. It's a mashup of energy. And so it's gonna take a while before we have cohesive, coherent sentences that have, they padded with compassion, and we all know how to actually talk and touch and tackle these situations with tact. And so right now, that's just what took place. You're seeing what it's like for us to come home and come together on a Kwanzaa celebration, on a djembe celebration, on having sacred dances, on us having topless tea together, being naked together. You're seeing the different people and what we have to derobe ourselves from and what we're holding on to. Some folks are holding on to ignorance, some folks are holding on to papers and folders, and some folks are holding on to prayers and spirit. So now this is why it's a holistic space, you get what I'm saying? So that all those different people can come together and we can form a common ground. Because ultimately what really occurred was that the question was not answered until Harmony spoke up in that way. When she said that you're talking about the ancestors, that was the question of the day. Are you upset? And so are you mad at yourself? Are you representing them? Are you trying to get back to that? Or are we moving forward? So when I put it out there last week, 2 weeks ago, that was part of my personal addition to the conversation. You get what I'm saying? Like, if you believe in these people, or you say that you're Kemetic or Pan-African and you praying to the ancestors, or you seek to tap into your Akashic records, and now you're in a world where Black Lives Matter and all of your melanin men feel targeted and everybody is being aimed at, whose fault is it? You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I don't give a shit about the law. You get what I'm saying? The law that man wrote doesn't matter to me. It doesn't apply to me. It does not apply to me. Why? Because I've seen me drive on the street and I've seen myself be rotten dirty and know that I'm good. I'm protected. I'm actually not on the same street with the people you get what I'm saying? We're not in the same lane, we're not in the same plane. When you get what I'm saying? When you move like that, it's almost as if you can't see the ghosts on this plane right now because they're in another realm. And that's how I feel when I'm on the road. You get what I'm saying? So they don't even see you when you have that spiritual cloak on. You get what I mean? And I'm with you because y'all, so I'm going to really clarify, how we going to get into this. You feel me? Because if you're talking about the ancestors.
Talking about the mindset.
Yeah, you feel me? It's a mindset thing. And for when you are that staunch in spirit, like Aiti is saying, like Sister Harmony is saying, you're going to stand up and advocate for it. You feel me? And you're going to use that vessel to show your prowess. You get me? And so I'm with all the ways that the flow of the conversation with, and I hope that everyone's solar plexus, is in a state where they can receive life, still filter, still eat, still laugh, say, let me talk to you about this afterwards. Is it possible for you to sit down with me? Because ultimately, he's going to help us figure out genealogy for all of us. And so he's trying to figure out what does the community need. And so my background is sociology, so he's taking intake questions about where are we, a temperature check, a climate as a community. Who are the people that have the resources and who are the ones that I need to form a study group with and a study guide with? Because ultimately there won't be a package for payment where it says, let me do it for you. No, you're gonna find yourself. And so this is just somebody, you know what I'm saying? That's his approach to helping you find your way. You know what I mean? And it may be the skin color that helps you start. It may be the contracts that you're signing that help you start because you're an artist. So the only thing you want to do is keep putting your name on shit. So he's trying to help you in his own way. You may be a spirit and you may be so airy that you can get locked up because your identity can get stolen. You get what I'm saying? So, and you owe the bank $15,000. So he's saying, be conscious of what's happening with this vessel because you are on a physical plane. And when you ride on the streets, if you hear sirens and you see cherry baskets, then that means you're on earth. It applies to you. So now we got to find a common ground. So this is so I'm fortunate, you know what I'm saying? But this is in part what I would say to if I was able to sit down at the beginning to add my part. But Amber spoke on my behalf. And that's what I had to say. arms around, like now, that's all that I had to say. And so now, like this my second time, third because of the question, but this is how I would really have the conversation. The thing is that we getting closer to 8 o'clock, and you could set an agenda. That's how I started with that. You can set an agenda, and it could be from a certain time, but life comes in between. And so now the conversation is continuing to go, but we are working on being better people who are organized, who have a flow, who feel comfortable about opening up the floor to have, touchy conversations. You know what I mean? And so I don't want to hold you guys much longer. And the Alkaline Xpress has this extensive list of bills, and you know that I told you guys about, I have four forefathers. There were 4 men that helped me invest and buy this space. You get what I'm saying? So I'm always big on talking about the forefathers because that's how they look to me. Melanin people that really support. And so that money is coming essentially out of our pocket right now, you feel me? So certain things that we do when you walk in and the lights is off or it seems like very chill, it's because it's coming from Shuja at the market when y'all paying 15 for CMOS, a portion, everything. It's all coming back. We're trying to create a collective space. You feel me? So if it ever feels heavy in here, recognize it's family coming together. You feel me? And so, okay, in the background, you guys have had 528 megahertz playing, like since I sat down, so the energy being able to filter more, so we could go into like cellular regeneration and come back, you know what I'm saying, like go deeper. So we talked about the surface level and contracts and applying to the law, and take it a little bit deeper into the ancestral canal and talking about, do you actually want to be a part of the idea of Afrocentrism, Cometicism, believing in your ancestors because this the world that we inherited from them? Or are you a God and you creating what's taking place right now? Like, we gotta move forward into the solution-oriented space. Like, so, all right, y'all, one thing I wanna share. Here's what I'm gonna share. There's a part in your eye, it's called vitreous. You have a part of your eye that's called vitreous humor. The part of your eye that's called vitreous humor, it's the white fluid. It's the white fluid in your eye that protects the retina. And so, why like would this be relevant? Is because life is all about perspective, right? And sometimes you can see things how you just want to see them. But there's a all-seeing eye. Some people believe in that. You know what I mean? Some people's all-seeing eye is their third eye. Some people's all-seeing eye is the one on a dollar bill. You get what I'm saying? Some people's all-seeing eye is an eye in the sky. And it's just that's why we started talking like about perspective. How do you see this? Because then you have someone pose who is they. And now for me, they looks different. I'm talking about maybe a table with disciples, but somebody else is talking about a room full of politicians. Right. You get what I mean? So us starting to form that common ground for each other so that we could really get to the solutions. So the vitreous humor is just funny, the way that you see life and the fact that it could get cloudy. The white around the black, your retina, you know what I mean? Where you're actually taking in these flashes of light and then you're taking them into your brain and then they're going into your pituitary and then they're sending you images to your third eye. It's all based on perspective. So studying your eyes and how they are forming. We have limbic rings around the eye. The limbic rings for people are what form attraction to each other. The limbic ring, some people, for your limbic ring, that is when you look at your pupil and you like, there looks to be like a gray or a light or a white on the outside of my brown. Your limbic ring can change inside, and what I'm saying is limbic. It could change in size, and it's because of your limbic rings that somebody is attracted to you, Sheree. That's what I mean. Like, nah, that's what I mean. Like, when looking, perspective,
how do we actually get into these positions where now this is my partner and now this is what we talk about all the time, or now this is my partner and you're putting my business out in the street, or you get what I'm saying? It's the limbic rings, it's the vitreous humor, it's the retina, it's the perspective, it's you, it's starting from you. And when you're cloudy on the inside and your cells, they're not reproducing, they're dying every 30 to 90 days, you're reproducing. All the time, you're changing. So it's okay for you to evolve and not feel the same way this Monday and then change next Monday. It's all right. So we creating that middle way ground where if you starting to study something or you've been on it for a while, let's talk about it. That's all right. If you're going through something and you walk in and you feel the weight of the world, but you go through those doors and then you let it fall down, that's all right. Come home. Just come home so we can start talking about it, you know? So, all right, the limbic rings, that was all, y'all. So eyes, the perspective, and moving forward on how you see it, because Most High is spirit. And why is spirit the Most High? Because you have two eyes in it. So it's always watching. It's always there. All you have to do is spear it. Aim. All you have to do is set those eyes on a target, aim, and spirit. So that's why it's nothing to be afraid of or deny when it comes into the room. Spirit. Spirit. Sharpen that tool. Feel me? Sword against sword. Iron against iron. Diamond against diamond. And diamonds actually, they need pressure hot. Yes. Pressure and heat hot like
you gotta shine.
Okay.
I feel like I've been talking to a lot of people this week. I know me personally, like I've been going through a little, like growing through something. And so I feel like a lot of people I've been talking to have been telling me like just things that have been happening in their life lately this week, like that has been like significant and it's like a major transition. I don't know, you know, what people are going through, but like Aaliyah's talking about, just keep going, because it is gonna hurt. But sometimes it's easy to get discouraged. I can speak for myself. You feel me? So this week I did get discouraged at one point, and I really had to fight through it, and I really had to really fight through it, and I had to sit with myself and get through that. And so I don't know, but from what I've been hearing, like what's in the air and what's going on with a lot of people, if you're going through something, just keep fighting through it. Just fight through it, because it's supposed to hurt. Like she said, it really is supposed to hurt.
If it don't hurt, it don't count. If it don't hurt, it don't count. If it don't hurt, it don't count. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt, y'all. It's cool. We get to start all over, and I think we have to realize that starting over and letting go is liberating. Like, embrace that shit. It's liberating. That shit is cool. Like, starting over ain't gotta be that hard. And I think our sisters take it a little bit harder because we feel things. And I feel like, for me, I can speak for myself, when you leave in a situation, you mentally already leaving it before you actually physically left, if that makes sense. So we gotta just let the shit go. And how I feel, I'm a little arrogant, maybe I'm a little bougie. It's mad fishes out there, bro. It's mad fishes in the sea. I'm gonna pick which one I want. Like, well, I'm not gonna trip off that fish. It's mad at them shits over there.
Somebody's fish may be a human, somebody's fish may be finances, somebody's fish may be a job. So you know what I mean?
I think moving forward too, like moving forward as far as like how you say how you feel about stuff, I feel like that too. Like I be feeling a lot of different things going on, and I just be like, some things I don't even tell people because like, you know, we don't say miracles or like, I don't know if we would call it that, but it's something like that. Whatever they see in the movies or described in the cartoons and all that, but those type of situations I would say happen, like, you know, law of attraction, you may call it, telepathy, you may think of something, somebody hits you up, the same thing you was thinking about, maybe listening to something, then you go out and then you hear it. That's been happening to me often too. Like songs that, like old songs that's not even being played like that heavy out here, then you go and you hear it. I'm like, or conversation.
Yeah, when that shit happened with Kakar, and when that shit happened with Kofi and Shayna, and Shayna, we was doing the mirror meditation talk, and then sitting it on, it's written on my thing. That and then the song was playing.
Yes, the song rolled by.
It rolled by, I was playing when Shane was talking about the mirror meditation. Like the universe, like everything, like we tapping in, like yeah, we felt it, yeah.
That right there, that you definitely, that lets you know that you in tune, you in connection, like you know, that you hearing them different sides.
And the God be
different
picked it up,
voices.
like you get what I'm saying? Like it don't even have to be your personal meditation. It could have been coming from something else, and spirit is just bringing all of us into the room to shed that little piece of subtle, sublime energy. So please, Brother Icy, go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted to say on Saturday, I looked at my cash. For some reason, my cash app was up.
Saturday was the day you came. He's talking about having Saturday street for people. Yeah.
So it was like 61, and then I looked at the time, it was 4:55. So that was like 61.7, 40, 55, 14, 27. So it was like 4 sevens. I'm a 7. So I noticed that, and I was building with the sister, and I let her know. I was like, yo, so things were closing up. And so she was outside, and she was like, yo, look at the number over there. And I looked, and I didn't see it. And she showed me, it was like 4 sevens.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
The same thing for me.
You know, so it was just like, you know.
No, and that's, see, y'all, like Adam, y'all, like, yeah, like, create that synchronicity, like,
Yes,
that
that's
synchronicity.
wow.
Like, let's
7 and 4s.
put it out, y'all, put it out. So the 7 4s with the 2 and the 8 is because it's when you get to the final breaking of it. Learn to study your numbers for the double digits, like the masters, and then you have the triple, has another frequency to it, and then there's the quadruple when you see them. And so, say if you have the 7s, the 4 7s, you have the 2 and the 8, and you have the 1. So with the 2 and the 8, you have harmony. Something about you and this alignment has something to do with harmony. You creating harmony because 2 is the vibration of community, harmony. And then 8 is the frequency of infinity. You get what I'm saying? So it's about going into the beyond. So creating harmony around saging. You get what I'm saying? Like that's what was taking place. Your spiritual mission was on the forefront for you that day. It wasn't what you was gonna do that night. It was what you were waking up in the rising, and that's what you were setting your intentions to manifest for that day. You get what I'm saying? And now you can see that it's continuing to go and how it will actually benefit you beyond that day and those moments. And so for you to be one that sees it is to have that reminder that harmony is what is going to help us extend into the infinity and beyond. When we come together, no matter how it looks on the outside, you're the one that has to be there because 2 plus 8 is 10. So that's 1, because 1 plus 0 is 1. 1 is the supreme being. If you are not there to create harmony for the infinite, then there will be no 4 7s. There will be no luck for us around, for other people to pick up on and say, child, look, what did you just talk? Look, now she feels it and believes it, trusts it, has faith. If it ain't in all, it's at least in you. So keep the mission going. It's at least in you. So keep it going. You feel me? So no matter if you feel like I'm transitioning, I'm going through hell, keep going. Because it's going to be the subtle synchronicities that show you how the universe is trying to communicate. It's not going to be on a billboard. We are still trying to get Black brand support. So it's not going to be big and out there for us yet. We're going to have it through these ways, wearing the same shoes as each other, wearing the same oils, smelling stuff. You smell like my grandmother. I drank a juice like Amber did from Shuja and reminded of a grandmother. So this is the type of time that we on, coming in and be able to make connections from the subtle energy. You don't got to make these big statements or be out here or feel some type of way when you don't want to talk. It's all right. We connected and somebody is going to be at the perfect longitude and latitude to prophesize that word on your behalf because they love you and they know you're working on your throat chakra. So come home, come to Motivational Monday, you know what I mean, and go throughout the week and stop back by because we'll all still be here. So keep filtering that energy because we home, you know. So thank you, y'all. That's just me. But thank you, y'all. Thank you for the synchronicities. Like that's amazing.
And on a deeper level, that sister told me. Because when I first came in or whatever, I was with my other friend, but she came and she was just like drawn to me, and she just started, we started building, And apparently what I was speaking on, it jogged her memory of what her uncle was saying. It was some type of, like, I don't want to say it's a saying or a proverb or whatever. It's something was supposed to happen where somebody was supposed to come and talk to her. And it came to the realization that it seemed like I was that one, you know what I'm saying? So,
congratulations, thank you for being there. Thank you
and
for
it's a
being out
4
the
year
bed.
too, so it's a lot, you know.
And I was saying to Aaliyah and the sisters earlier, what it felt like for me on Saturday, it just took me back to my childhood. I'm a Libra, so I'm always in my childhood, I feel like. And it felt like when you was a kid and you were all your cousins and your aunt and them in the other room partying, y'all do whatever the fuck y'all want, because y'all know they in the room, y'all can do whatever the hell y'all want, and then when it's time to go, everybody's like, oh, I don't wanna go. I don't know what I'm feeling yet. Like knowing y'all family already, y'all gonna see each other. That's the feeling that I had. It was a warm, tingly feeling inside that it was amazing.
Thank you, Shuja.
Thank everybody for coming out. Thank everybody. Definitely want to
Can I just say one thing in terms of law? In IET, we have LWA, LWA, you know what I'm saying, which are the LWA, which are the divinities or the cosmic forces that we have access to, you know. So we're in tune with the LWA, you know what I'm saying, and so that's why we're able to do what we do. I'm definitely feeling and understanding what we got in the physical realm. Yeah, we have to be very cognitive of calling ourselves black in terms of in the legalese system. However, black does, you know, we are the masters of whatever you put out there. Whenever we get in touch with it, we take it and flip it and make it the next level. So we have the power to override, you know, because we're built like that. You know, that's why they put us on the good side and the bad side. You know, we're all Michael Jordan in a sense. You know what I'm saying? You know, we're all Kobe or whatever. You know.
And yes, I agree.
I 100% agree, and please remember that Kemet, that it means the burnt land, it means the burnt people, it means black, it means black, it means black, it means black, it means black. The spirit wants you to know it means black. So right now we are all getting through our renditions and the different connotations and denotations that have come through man's mouth, you know what I'm saying, and how his ego has made things for us like tampons. A man made a tampon, so anybody that thought plugging a person that was bleeding, like no, that doesn't work. So just realizing that ego made a lot of stuff, pills, that stuff. So when we talk about doing plants and having DMT inside, you know how it's already in fruits and vegetables, it's because a lot of the pills that people are doing, man-made chemicals, their ego was concocting that pill when nature already had its cures, plants that were already doing that. And so we that's why it's so many more layers and conversations and topics to be talked about where people are gonna feel nervous about talking and exposing and exploiting what they've been through. Because this is what we gotta do this. We have to, y'all. So in the midst, I'm saying that because I identify as melanin, and I identify as melanin because my perspective is in the middle way. You guys know that I'm a Buddha, and so I chant Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, the law of cause and effect. So when it comes to talking to folks who speak about Lu'a, I understand because I pray to the law of cause and effect. I only believe in the law of attraction. So everything that happens to me is on me. So if I get locked up, it was because of my ignorance, my lack of study. So I'm not going to be a spiritual person that pushes all physical people away. I'm going to recognize the defense modes and the different ways that I was going to have to navigate in this vessel in order to fulfill my mission. I am going to learn how to bend bullets. I will levitate. I will breed children. You get what I'm saying? This is all elixirs. That's all natural to who we are as people. But in order for us to get there and be able to talk about that stuff with formulas where we could really breathe underwater, we got to get through some of this stuff right here. It's very, very, and it's simple. It's easy, but it's gonna feel hard. It's gonna feel and it's gonna hurt, and that's because we growing. Let's just keep doing it, you know? So I say melanin because I don't want folks who are of lighter colors not to want to come here and feel like they can't shed their experience and their opinions and what they've been through. We have to know what the world feels. We need all shades of people here. So we didn't want to have a space where we formed the world and we didn't know what the rest of it needed. If we're the original, we're the parents. So everything extends from something that we didn't teach. Something that we didn't talk about together and create a council about and sit at the table together and talk about. So we took it upon ourselves to form our own unit and then turn it into a kingdom, and then we decided to just defend those 4 walls. But the universe doesn't even have 4 corners. If it's a circle, if it's a galaxy, if you can't put your hands around it, if nobody's drew a picture on it, and if they've been drawing pictures on squares or circles, then they didn't show you the galaxy. You've only been watching it on monitor screens, and you've only had it circular in your eyes as far as they could see. So the world, protecting just your kingdom, that's how you know ego and what we've been trained and how the art of war and a lot of our defenses. And so sirens will come to try to break you from what's happening, because that's the truth. We've only seen the universe written out of other people's mind, out of their eyes, when they chose to take a screenshot of what they saw. So we don't know where they were when they did it until you do it yourself, each one of us, until you go to the moon and see what it looks like, until you get a rocket and go. So you got to study a lot of stuff. You need to talk to a lot of people. It's not just about what you know. You have to create councils. You have to. You gotta talk to other people. So that's just maybe one way that will help you maybe open up the floor with not just seeing yourself as black and then, you know what I mean, seeing yourself as everything, as the spectrum, and allowing life to bring in a spectrum of experiences, because that's what a timeline is, and that's what a lifetime is, a spectrum of experiences. So just welcome your lifetime into your life by talking to somebody else. You don't gotta do nothing more than that. Just be you. Energy will attract right to you. They will align, just like the sister did with Haiti. And saying Haiti because it's speaking French, not pronouncing the H. When you speak English, you say Haiti, you say Haitian. And when you hear people from Ireland, you say you hear me or iller, because they don't say the H. Some places don't say me. You get what I'm saying? They say I. For Muslims, they don't have E's. You get what I mean? They read in a certain direction. So when you know what I mean? Like talking to people, even though they're not wrapping up, they were raised by somebody who read backwards in the eyes of you. So, you know what I mean? And you know what I mean? Like trying to navigate through Twitter and Instagram and all this other stuff, they got a lot of layers. And then the brother gonna come in and say you're not what you say you are, and your parents don't. That's a lot. So we gotta learn how to talk to each other. We gotta learn what we're going through. You know what I mean? So feel free, y'all, all the time. Come back. Like, Brandon, you got something?
Yeah, because we talking about like law of attraction, spirituality, law, universal law. And I'm realizing like out of all the laws that I'm connecting to recently, it's really like universal law. Cause I'm seeing it like every day in front of my eyes. Like, I'm gonna give you an example. Like, we just did Sage the Streets. That started off as an idea that Shuja just threw at me one day. He was like, bro, I just want to sage the streets, bro. Like, we gonna do this, we gonna do this. And I saw his energy go out there, and then he just came here and kept speaking about it. And I seen that manifest, and I seen what that did. It touched people. Like, I had a man in a wheelchair rolling up, like speaking to the people. Like just an idea from his head telling him, like, bro, we gonna sage the streets. I seen Aaliyah say, yo, bro, like, we're gonna have paint and sips and stuff. We're gonna change the Alkaline Xpress. Like, you don't see it yet, but it's about to manifest. And then just this weekend, I seen it. Like, people are smiling. People are just happy. People like, I'm like, damn, like, it's much bigger than the physical. Like, you really could just from a thought and just speaking it out there, just moving with sweat and just being tired, like, all that is really worth it. Because, you know, they say you can't manifest without some type of liquid. So it's sweat, it's blood or tears or whatever. And I've seen, like, many times Aaliyah be like, she'd be in a kitchen running back and forth. She's sweating. She's like, damn, I don't know, like, shit, like, ain't nobody helping me right now. Like, now I be seeing Shuja and I'm like, god damn, bro, like, I'm cooking by myself and I see, like, water flying everywhere, and we just manifesting everything that we talking about. It's just real, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, I'm really seeing this, like, and like, nah, like, I really see this, like, for what it is, because I told myself as many times, like, yo, I'll be by myself. and I'd be like, damn, I want to do all these things. I want to do yoga, I want to do martial arts, I want to do all this stuff. And I remember just having a conversation with Lee, like, yo, this all going to happen, just believing, just spirit. And then I see Master Wayne Crazy Self in here teaching me martial arts, and I seen like Shuja's Lady Ash teaching me yoga. I just run into different people, and then I remember like it was times like me and King, like y'all know him as King, I know him as Dills. We used to be in the studio like late night, every night, working on music. And bros out here making videos with Ja talking about, yo, we Aboriginal. Like, this is stuff I wanted to hear. Like, I remember him as Ja Bricks. Like, y'all don't know him as, like, I know him. I'm just saying this, like, so it just amazes me. Just even, like, getting behind the camera. Like, I'm meeting Kenny. He's on the camera. He's filming. He's, I'm going to teach you, bro. I'm getting happy as hell. And I said, I want to, then I'm meeting people like Earl. I said, I want somebody to always support my clothing line. Earl wore my shirt like probably 2 weeks straight. I don't even know if he rocked my shirt or not. Like, bro, I'm just saying. I'm really just appreciative for everybody in here because even like I want to do a fashion show. I want to be part of a fashion show. Copy like, yo, I'm gonna throw you my show. Like, it's just like everything I see just happening in front of me like every single day. I get overwhelmed because it all started from like me and Shuja at this county one day. He's like, bro, just rock with me, bro. I'm gonna take on this win. I'm gonna just take it here. And then he's brought me here. And ever since I've been on, like, ever since just rocking with Shuja, it's just my life just changed for the better. And I'm just like but I just say this for like, I'm just saying this like, just to say this like, even when I eat his blues, like, I'm doing yoga with him in Brooklyn. I ain't gonna lie, he stretched my ass out. I'm just saying this like, yo, I'm just saying, if y'all don't believe in like, people like y'all just spiritual people. Spirituality work. I know that. All I'm just so grateful for every single person up in here, man, because it's crazy, man, because when Lee used to tell me like spirit, I'd be like, Lee, I don't know, man, I don't see nothing. Even Sheree be like, yo, I love you, Brandon, like, just give me a hug, you know what I mean? And sometimes, you know what I mean? And sometimes I be like, yo, I'm too cool to be crying and stuff like that. Like I said, man, I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate Amber for keeping it real. She says stuff I don't always agree with, but she checked me, you know what I mean? So, man, I'm just saying, man, I'm just saying, man, I love every single one of y'all, man. So, man, we just gotta keep doing this, man. Like,
I just want to tap in on that just a little bit. Me personally, myself, I always had my mother always said there's a spirit in you, and regardless of everybody has something inside them that will come out and manifest. So when you speak to the God, you know, whoever you speak to, and manifest and knowing that what you want, whether it be property or, you know, seeing us as a people come together as one, and just seeing it and manifesting it and keep knowing. Never give up. Keep down there. Never give up. Regardless of how they oppress us and want us to stay down. You never stay down. You come back up. You never stay down. You fight. You keep pushing. Because whatever inside you will come through. You will push through. Like what I'm working on now, and even with COVID-19, I started back meditation for myself. So, you know, this is something, my own personal thing. Back to my meditation and back to knowing what's good for me and feeling the vibe of a person. Because when a person comes next to me, I can tell the energy. I'm like, this is not good. A negative vibe. I don't want the negative energy. And also I was asking for people to come in my direction, and it's been happening. As far as wealth, finance, different things, building property, real estate, just in that direction. That's it. Only in hotels, only not owned. As a people, and that's the direction we supposed to push in. So you don't let them oppress you. Just to say, okay, this is what they want to do, but you don't act the way they want you to act. But you have to push through it, and it is what it is. It's pushing through it. To not be oppressed by what someone is saying and what they're portraying as what you need to look like, but knowing who you are within yourself, and that will come out. It will manifest in you.
to say? I'm gonna close out with a prayer.
I'm just gonna get the announcements.
Go ahead.
This week we won't have the higher market. Shuja will be traveling, so please send safe travel, warm energy, like to Shuja as he goes out. We'll be doing mobile reform, and he will be bringing back a lot of great change when he comes back from down south. So please, you're gonna see a whole different side of Shuja when he comes back. And so I want all the folks that say helping out and being around at the AX. So this Thursday, we usually have a lot of high energy. That may be a good day for you guys to come by, have your notebooks, so that we'll all technically be sitting down more so on a chill vibe. But you get into that co-working space. It's all right to bring your laptop. We do have Jenga, we got chessboards, we do have a TV. So it's fine for us to put the Netflix on or to do research together on YouTube, and we have the projector, we can watch documentaries during the day. So a lot of these things are what I had in mind for the Alkaline Xpress, in the midst of just formulating and then speaking with you guys in spirit, having all of you throughout the journeys. You get what I'm saying? Since 1993 when I was born, you don't really know what you're connected to, but if I could come to this earth, I know I felt something from all of y'all, and so we created this space. I genuinely mean it when I say it. And so some of the stuff that can come preliminary, it can be us doing all of that stuff. This was never a store. It was never written to be a restaurant. It was always going to be a wellness center. When I first wrote it, I said Research Institute, to be honest with you. So when I came in and then this was the new layout, Shuja was we good. Now we get to add more. The universe gave us 2 stages, a greenhouse, a studio. It gave us 2 bathrooms, a space to create our own. It was a shell when we came inside, so it was nothing. And so I laid down the floor, the counter, everything that needed to be done, you feel me? So now anything you want to see, we could change it, we can manifest it, we're going to move forward. We need Timbuktu, we need universities, we need all of those things. So I'm real big on this stuff. So we have to come back here, you get what I'm saying, at least. So 373, you have the 3, which is the creative child next to the 7, the number of neutrality, divinity next to the 3 again, which is the creative child. When you put those 3s next to each other, that's the ascended master frequency. Us being balanced, divine, neutral beings, you know what I mean? That's what happens the moment that you walk through the gates. It's as if the 3 split in half and allowed your natural ass to walk inside. To be, you get what I'm saying? Supernatural. So if you walk in here levitating, if you walk in here on 10, we got you. That's what I'm saying. You ain't even walking here, you floating, nigga. That's what I'm saying. So we got you. If that's what happened, and y'all know when I say nigga, I mean they God. He who descended from the mother goose egg. And so everything is just much love, much respect. And so come home. You know what I mean? So much gratitude. It's gonna take you taking a picture, posting us, showing things that let more people come here and invest in the space and all the features that we need, lights and everything, so that it could be brighter and more vibrant. We gonna get it. The community is us, and we are going to provide it for ourselves. We got this, y'all. Yeah. So thank you for coming home. So that was Thursday. That was it for Thursday, and I think Saturday there's a private tantra event, so we'll be technically closed. And then someone's renting out the space. When the Alkaline Xpress is hosting events and we say private, there'll be a version that we talking about at moving forward. But this weekend, someone is renting out the space, the Goddess Sage, shout out. And so there will be a tantra event. And so on Sunday, because the sacred energy has been ushered in, but we're gonna have children, you know what I mean, moving forward, we want to make sure that they're not being ushered into conversations about molestation or sexual abuse or even eroticism and how they want to be pent up and do Kama Sutra and stuff like that. We want to make sure that the zone is safe for all of the energies to be not so over-sexualized, where you can be neutral, where it's okay for you to be baggy, saggy, droopy, a little tinted in the eyes, a little gray. You ain't got to come in here acting like that. You home. So if you bring your slippers, it's all right. You know what I mean? But recognize that it will be children, so sometimes we randomly close or we're not doing the stuff that was on the agenda because we're really taking care of the energy of the space. And so Saturday and Sunday will technically be closed. So Tuesday through Friday we open. Come home, y'all. Let's get it. 9 to 5, and then after 5, you know, the vibe is members only, and we have the classes. The CDL course will be done in about 2 weeks, and we'll be launching the hookah nights and the comedy nights, and we'll start, you know, the rap battles and everything that we said. And so just getting in tune with your membership so that the cover charges aren't affecting you, or talking to people so that you can get commission from having them host an event based off of you being the person that referred them. So that's how we do it, so that you're able to make passive residual income by being a part of the Alkaline Xpress. We don't do free advertising. So we want you to know that it really helps you to spread the word about coming home and being a part of the wellness center. You know what I mean? This is our prototype. So it's gonna take each one of us to get on hella bolts underneath the hood in order to get that spaceship together to go to infinity and beyond. So everybody gotta come home. We're on a boat. Yeah. Okay, yeah, and so yeah, y'all know, just come through, and the membership forms are at the front where we can talk about membership. Shay and King have been able to experience some of the preliminary benefits like that we can offer for right now, while it's still coming off our own too. So imagine when more people come home and they want to just donate or have fundraisers or put stuff together for us, because they recognize we youth and we spiritual and we're navigating and we overstimulated by the world. Somebody of every age group can fit into one of those categories. So if you bring them home, they'll be able to extend more resources to us as a collective. So yeah, that's the vibe, Tuesday through Thursday. Just come through, y'all. Yeah, okay, we'll be here Tuesday. Thursday. Thank you. Yeah, y'all, so thank you, y'all. Shuja?
Nah, just wanted to say some closing words before, you know, just basically just want to give thanks and bless. Give thanks in higher words and honorings to the Most High, to that force that always keeps us alive, to that force that always keeps us grounded and safe and protected. That's one of the reasons why we did Save the Streets as well, is because we wanted to keep ourselves protected as well. There's a lot of great energy around us, but with great, how do you say it? With great work, with great responsibility or something like that.
Great power comes with responsibility.
Yeah, I know the saying. So it's like, you know, like that right there is definitely, you know, holds some value within us. So we just got to make sure that we protected ourselves and keep our space clean, and just make sure that we always in safe areas. You know, is the closer we get to the Most High, the closer the other side tries to get to us too. So just, you know, keep that balance. Like Lee always says, the middle way. Definitely, I deal with spiritual time. I deal with real time. You know, so definitely just make sure that you got all the right people around you. Your circles is tight. That you know that you're always giving things to the energy that always keeps you alive and awake and just moving forward. Don't forget the elements, the earth, which everything comes from. I always say, like the earth, which everything comes from. It didn't come from the earth, then it was man-made in the laboratory. So just give thanks for the earth, which these seeds and these nuts and these berries and these fruits and these vegetables and these herbs come from. So give thanks for that, for always sustaining us. Giving thanks to the water that we drink, that washes us, that heats up our food, that helps to heat up our food, I should say. The water that's in us and that's related to the universe, because, or should I say the earth, because more than 70% of the earth is water, likewise our body. So just giving thanks to that divine connection. Giving thanks to the fire that always keeps us motivated, that heats our food and that keeps us warm. And that just keeps enemies away too, and that just brightens up the day and definitely always being seen, the vision, the fire, the sun. Giving thanks for that, and giving thanks for the earth, for the air, for the fresh prana, for the fresh breath. The yogis and the meditation teachers know exactly what I mean. Just giving thanks for the fresh air that we breathe and that we get from these trees, earth again. Then we go to the forest or we go to these parks. You know, you definitely having an exchange of carbon dioxide and oxygen with the trees. So give thanks to that, and give thanks to the ethers, the cosmos, those forces that just be working without us knowing, and when we sleep in it. You know, all these great things, and if there's anybody who's in your life or that you highly rate or you highly relate to, you know, just think about them for about 30 seconds and just send power to them, because the ancestors are not mad with us. The ancestors just, you know, just want us to keep continuing to do this great work. You know, that's my perspective. So I'm just passing that out to y'all. So just take about 30 seconds. Just think about the great people around you. Think about your family, your ancestors, and make sure that you know that they exist, because they're always there with you. Just waiting for you to call on them. If you don't have an altar, I suggest you have an altar. Create an altar. Put a nice little white blanket or something that your ancestors like in your room, in your closet. Put a candle on it. Put some water so they drink, and that represents the elements. You know, you have the earth there. You have the earth, which is the fruits, the vegetables, whatever they like. Then you have the water. Then you have the candle lit. So you know, then the fresh air is just when you're over there and you're talking to them, you're breathing by it. So keep an altar around to give you more power. You know, and just tapping with your culture, like giving thanks for the brother who came through and shed light on us about Indigenous Day and how to be tax exempt and how to use these forces to benefit us in our lives. You know, so just have value in that, and just have value in yourself, and give thanks and love. I appreciate everybody. Thank you.
Peace.